Yes, Parliament is completely captured. Wetangula is my brother. I know he's a lawyer like me from Western Kenya. And this is a country of Mutuetu. And I know there are people who say, why are you, demeaning Mutuetu? But the truth is that apart from Wetangula, we've had other speakers from Western Kenya. We have had Kenneth Lusaka, Speaker of the Senate. He tried. We have had Kenneth Marende, who was one of the best speakers we've ever had. But we can say this tonight without any fear of contradiction. Wetangula Moses is the worst speaker this country has ever seen. And he's someone who has completely undermined the independence of a key institution, which should actually be the people's house, a place where the people's rights should be defended. But it has turned out to be a place where the worst pieces of legislation have been rammed through, and Parliament has become a rubber stamp of very terrible pieces of legislation that have led to many lives being lost. As Kenyans protest, these people do not want to hear the voice of Kenyans. Public participation has become, it's a mockery what they do in Parliament. Yet this issue of public participation does not depend on the generosity of the state. It is a constitutional imperative. It's part of our national values under Article 10. But when you look at Speaker Wetangula and the way they have handled the issue of public participation, they do not care about the people's voice. What they care about is the voice of Ruto in State House, when he summons all the MPs there and tells them, ignore the noise on the streets. Do not remove even a comma or a full stop. This bill must pass as it is. This is what has costed this loss of lives. But had we had an independent speaker, then things could have been different. So that I can say, I repeat it again today, I've seen him in Western Kenya behaving like Ruto's youth winger, forgetting his office when he takes the rooftop of his cars and he's with Ruto, defending Ruto more than even Ishungwe himself. Does that sound like an independent speaker to you when he's supposed to be an independent umpire of a key institution that is supposed to oversight the executive? He does not. And as a result of this weakening of key institutions, and it has totally eroded public confidence in these institutions. So between us and disaster today, fellow Kenyans, I can tell you, the only institution left is the judiciary. And you can see there is a scheme, because Wetangula and his team are captured, there's a scheme of trying to pressurize Kome to play ball, to be captured. But if she does not, there's a scheme to get rid of her. So we can say this tonight without any fear of contradiction. Yes, the judiciary is under attack. And in the history of a democracy, never has a key institution like the judiciary been under threat to the extent it is today.
Thank you, Honorable Eugene. Yeah, that was really a good part of it. Before we give out the mic to the rest, a quick question for you. DAP Kenya has been in coalition talks with other parties. Can we expect a major political realignment before 2027? I saw Matiang'i, I saw Senator Onyonka, I saw Honorable Kalonzo, I saw Rigathi in the launch of your party. Do you believe Rigathi Gachagua fallout with Ruto presents an opportunity for the opposition? What is your message to Kenyans who are frustrated, both to UDA and Azimio, and looking for a fresh political movement? Many Kenyans feel opposition leaders have not done enough to push back against Ruto excess. What new strategies do you propose beyond for 2025 and beyond? Thank you.
First of all, I must say that as someone who was part of Azimio, we have let Kenyans down. We let them down at Bomas when we went into bed and agreed to give way to Ruto and his machinations at Bomas. We could actually have nipped this problem in the bud if we had exerted enough pressure at Bomas. I remained like the sole voice. And as a result of that, I could not sign what I knew was really a betrayal to the people of Kenya, because we never addressed the Wanjiku issue at Bomas. But after that, Azimio went on to actually go into bed with Kenya Kwanza. Now, those people who went on the streets and died, today, if they rose and came back, what do they think of us? That instead of siding with the liberators, the young Kenyans who came out, the Gen Zs who are so brave, who are only armed with phones and the flag and water. They came out, but they had the courage to fight over their country and to pay the ultimate price. We, instead of fighting for them or with them, we joined the oppressor. I heard one good senator say the other day that we had to stabilize the country. It was a matter of national security. We had to save Ruto so as to save his government, so as to save Kenya. And today, tonight, as I speak to you, it is something very painful to say tonight. Indeed, Azimio died last year. In my heart, in my mind, Azimio died because we stopped fighting for the people. The day we went into bed with William Ruto, the day we took the side of the oppressor against the young liberators of this country, Azimio died that day. And I can tell you today that, in fact, there are those who still say Azimio is there. Tonight, as I said it when we launched our party headquarters, Azimio is as dead as a dodo. Wanasema mpanda farasi wawili hupasuka msamba. Hapa farasi walikuwa wawili, either the oppressor or the liberator. The Gen Zs are the liberators. These are the people we should have stood with and stood by and stood for. And that is what we stand for. Those of us who have said we are living as Mio, we are looking for new partners. Our partners who betrayed Kenyans and went into government, history shall judge them. But tonight I can tell you, help is on the way. A new formation of a new coalition is on the way. And a new government is on the way that will liberate Kenyans, that will stand with the Gen Zs, with the millennials, with the people of Kenya, and that will right the wrongs of this regime. But for us to win, I want to be president. I have already been cleared by my party as DAP Kenya as the presidential candidate. But on my own as Eugine, Wamalwa, even if all the lawyers gave me the votes and other friends, we cannot succeed. We learned our lessons in the 90s when we were fighting to remove, to have multi-party democracy back and remove the dictatorship that was there and then. We never succeeded because in 1992, we split our votes. Matiba was popular, Kibaki was popular, Jaramogi was popular, but against Moya divided opposition cannot win. We lost. 1997 again, Kibaki was popular, Wamalwa, my brother, was popular, so was Raila and Gilu. They split the vote, they lost again. Moi won in 1997 by a minority of 36% of the vote, but we lost. Come 202, we learned our lessons. And we said, never again will we go divided and let everyone's ambition be more important than the nation. We say Kenya is bigger than all of us. It's bigger than Wamalwa and his ambition to be president. It's bigger than Kalonzo or Gachagua or Matiang'i or whoever else wants to be president, including Martha and others. Kenya is bigger than all of us. So we must learn from our painful lessons. If we are going to end this heavy taxation, and save the pay slip and return dignity to the lives of workers of Kenya, we must be able to pay the sacrifice. The Gen Zs pay the ultimate sacrifice on 25th. We can do no less as the opposition. So tonight I can tell you this. Yes, we have started the journey of forming a new coalition that will form the new government. But we cannot, even on our own as politicians, win with the few political parties coming together. We need, as Zakayo buys every politician he can buy, and every party, like in Western Kenya, we had 4 main parties. 3 have been moved to Zakayo's side. Mudavadi's ANC has been swallowed. Wetangula's Ford Kenya. Now Oparanya, who was the leader of ODM in Western, has also been pocketed. There's only one party left in Western Kenya. That's the DAP-K party. And tonight I say, Ruto might buy all the parties, but he will not buy DAP Kenya. We will stand with the people. We will stand for the people. We stand by the people. And he has bought all other presidential candidates in Western Kenya, but he cannot buy Eugene Wamalwa. Because as we speak, the mountain has moved away from Ruto. The only pathway for Ruto back to the presidency is Western Kenya. That's why you see him there every week, every month. He's back in Nyanza, in Western, to try and recover a pathway back to the presidency. But tonight, I see a one-term president called William Ruto. If we come together, and this must go beyond the old and go beyond the young. How did we get the dictatorship, the kind of dictatorship out? The Young Turks started the movement. The Gitobos, the Muites, Railas, we had Orengos. They were the Young Turks who started the movement that removed Moi from power. But at some point, they realized they cannot do it on their own as the Young Turks, the Gen Zs of those days. They reached out for the old guard, the seasoned politicians, Kina Masinde Muliro, Jaramogi, Kina Kibaki. They came on board. Wanasema kidole kimoja kiui chawa. It's when these two forces came together, when civil society joined, the churches, Kinanjoya, we had Ndingimwana and Zeki in Nakuru, the Catholic Church, the Anglican, they all came together. That is how we were able to remove. There's no other way of removing Ruto other than the path of unity. As he broadens his broad-based government already, and is going to buy more people and bring them on board, we must also broaden the opposition. And we must have a broad-based opposition that will go beyond the politicians, that will go beyond the old guard, so that we have the Gen Zs on board. In fact, the Gen Zs should be the front and center of this movement. And that is how we're going to win. I'm sorry I'm revealing our strategies, but we need you on board. Tonight, I know I'm speaking to many Gen Zs who have said they don't want anything to do with politicians. They say these dinosaurs have been here forever, let them get out. We want a fresh leader. But it will not be that angels will come from heaven and drop here and save this country. It will be that they are leaders who can actually come together, and let the test be not your tribe, not your religion or region. Let it be your record, your integrity, what you believe in, what you stand for, what you believe in. So let me not talk too much because it's a discussion, but that is where we are tonight. I'm very confident that we are going to win if we work together.